Hi, my name is Matthew Ronan. I'm the co-author and illustrator of The Girl with Five Hearts. The Girl with Five Hearts is about giving your heart back to the one who made it, because many things in this life can break it. I'm going to share with you some of Chastity reading The Girl with Five Hearts, but first, a little backstory. Chastity came up with the idea for The Girl with Five Hearts while she was a nanny in college. And we got married in 2006 and moved to San Francisco. And then the next year we wrote down the story, and I designed and drew all the outlines in pencil on paper. But then after that, I went to school, and life and work got in the way, and the project got put on the back burner. 7 years later, in 2014, I was at the high point of my career, had finished school, was working in visual effects and animation. Chastity was at the high point of her career as the executive director of a nonprofit family support center here in San Francisco. And we started to try and start our family. And after experiencing multiple miscarriages, we were finally able to have a healthy pregnancy 7 years ago in 2015. And it was while celebrating that with the baby moon in Hawaii, our dream vacation, that the bleeding started. A few months later, Chastity was able to have our first child, our first to be born, but the fifth child. And it was a healthy baby girl, Katita Love Ronan. She was born February 5th, 2016 at 5:27 p.m. in room 5. And now that was the new highlight of our lives, so much greater than the high point of our careers. But the bleeding didn't stop. Chastity's doctors assured her that this is normal pregnancy-related hemorrhoids, that they would go away. But 5 months after our daughter was born, Chastity was diagnosed with incurable stage 4 cancer. Our dreams and our hearts were shattering. She was put on medical leave and then permanent disability, and the company that I had helped start, it went through a roller coaster of funded, not funded, funded, not funded, and eventually it fell apart. And it was in this place that we started to reimagine our futures, rethink our dreams, and the idea to pick back up that dream of creating children's books was something that we started focusing on. We developed a couple different ideas for books, but battling cancer and caring for a baby is really what consumed all of our time. And though we were praying and believing for healing, and we saw God do so many miraculous things in that 3-year battle, and that 3-year fight against cancer, Chastity's chapter on this earth concluded on August 17th, 2019, in room 5 in a hospital in Ohio. The past 7 years, I've gone through the greatest challenges and trials of my life. An almost unending succession of loss, from totaled cars to dream projects falling apart, to my company falling apart, to losing our home, to children. We lost 4 children to miscarriage, and ultimately losing my wife, my best friend, my one flesh. So I know heartbreak well, intimately well. It's not been until these past 3 years since her death that I've picked back up the book and The Girl with Five Hearts and started painting it.
Why don't you tell me the 5 Hearts story?
The whole story?
Yeah. I don't think we've recorded it before, have we?
I don't think so. But there was once a little girl born with 5 hearts. When she was born, the doctor said she would have a lot of love to give. And as she grew up, she chose what to do with her hearts. And she gave her first heart to her family. She loved her family so much. But her family used her heart like a basketball. And they would dribble it around on their driveway like a basketball court. And there was a day that her brother took her heart and she said, no, don't don't dribble it, it hurts it. But her brother took the heart and slam dunked it. When the heart went through the hoop, landed on the driveway and broke. And she picked up a brown paper bag and put all of the pieces of the heart in the bag and thought, that's all right. I still have 4 more hearts. I still have a lot of love to give. She had a best friend that she really loved. And when her friend left, the heart ripped in 2. And the little girl picked up the pieces of the heart and put it in the brown paper bag with the other heart. And as she grew, she gave her next heart to the world. It crushed her heart into little pieces. And she picked up the pieces of her heart, put them in the bag, and thought, that's okay, I still have 2 more hearts. I still have a lot of love to give. That's twice as many hearts as most people are born with. And so she was getting older and she found a boyfriend that she really loved. And he told her he loved her too. The boy held her heart in his hand, tossed it up in the air and caught it. Tossed it up in the air and caught it. And then one time he tossed it up in the air and acted like he wasn't going to catch it, but then just at the last minute caught it. And the girl said, whoa, be careful with my heart. Please don't break it. Please take care of it. And he said, oh, I will. I'll always take care of your heart. And then he tossed it up and caught it. Tossed it up and walked away. And the heart fell straight on the ground and broke into little pieces. So she picked up all of the little pieces and put them in the bag with the 3 other hearts. That was the 4th heart. She only had 1 heart left. She decided to be very careful about what she did with this heart. So she held on to it for a long time. She didn't let anybody have it. She didn't let anybody see it. She didn't let anybody look at it. She even almost didn't even use it. And then she got a job. And as she left her office that day, she realized she had given her heart to her job without even intending to. And that was her last heart. She didn't have any more hearts, didn't have any more love, and thought, I'm all alone. I don't have any love. I don't have any love to give. Nobody loves me. She looked at her brown paper bag full of heart pieces and kicked it across the forest. And just started crying. Just thought she would sit there and cry until she died. And as she sat on this little tree stump crying, after a while she noticed she noticed that there was a man next to her who was crying too. And she looked at him and said, hey, what are you doing here? Why are you crying? And he said, I love those hearts, those broken hearts in that bag. I love them. And I don't want them to be broken. She said, well, they are. Can't do anything about it. And he said, well, actually, I could do something about it. If you gave them to me, I could put them back together. And the girl said, really? Well, I guess it can't hurt. They're already both broken. Go ahead and give it a try. And so the man reached into a bag and pulled out the pieces of the first heart, pieced it together like a puzzle, and blew on it. And the heart became whole. And he did the same thing with all 5 hearts until all 5 hearts were alive and healthy and beating and full of joy. And he gave them back to the girl. And he said to the girl, you can do whatever you want to with those hearts. You can give them to the world, you can give them to people, but they'd get broken again. But you could give them to me. And I made them. And I'll protect them. And I'll make sure that they never break again.
No stranger to heartbreak and loss, Chastity's inspiration for the girl with 5 hearts was autobiographic. But at the same time, it's universal. This story will inspire both young and old to point to healing of even the deepest of wounds. Katinka, is there anything you want to say about the book? Come here.
The girl with 5 hearts, her best friend moved away because her best friend's dad got a job in another place. So my best friend, who was my biking best friend, she moved away because her dad got a job in a different place.
Yeah, so when I was working on it, you were experiencing it, and it gave us an opportunity to talk about it and process it. That was pretty cool, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That was cool. Well, I plan on sharing more throughout the month about how God has brought healing in the process of painting. And I can't wait to get this book in your hands and hear back from you about what God does in your hearts, and your children's hearts, and your grandchildren's hearts. Thank you for supporting.
Yeah.